What's up guys, XM360 here, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing the GoPro Hero 5. So this is the black model. The Hero 5 only comes in one model, the black model. I don't know if they plan to release any others in the future. I found it kind of weird that they named this one black because they only really have one model of it, so I don't see why they gave it a color name, because in the past they've given color names to GoPros where they have various models, but for this one it just comes in the black. And this will set you back about $400. That's the price as of when I made this video. It is the most current version of the GoPro camera, and some of the advertisements, it can do 4K 30 FPS, 2.7K 60 FPS, and 1080p 120 FPS video. And then you can interchange all that stuff. You can do 1080 60, you could do 2.7 30. 4K I believe only goes up to 30, the highest though. And some other video features, it has stabilization, there's some light correction function, and for photos you can do 12 megapixel photos at 30 FPS. There's an ultra wide angle glass lens, as there are with all GoPros. It's waterproof up to 33 feet, it has voice control. And what I really like about this GoPro is that touchscreen comes standard on these. You don't need to buy any upgrade that attaches to your GoPro like some past GoPros have had. This one, all of them just come standard with a touchscreen, and some people don't like that because it drains the battery quicker, but there are settings to have the touchscreen automatically turn off after you've been recording for like 15 or 30 seconds or whatever you set it to. And besides that, this one also has Wi-Fi capability for remote control, interval capture for time-lapse, linear video mode for correcting distortion, and it comes with a bunch of stuff too, like mounts, and I'm going to show you guys what is in the box. But obviously, as many of you already know, the biggest change to this GoPro from prior GoPros is that they've actually made the camera itself waterproof now. So they've completely ditched the idea of that clear housing that waterproofs the camera, and they've made the camera itself waterproof. And you'll see that this has some bit of a rubberized housing on it, but that's mostly to protect it from falls. The camera is now completely waterproof without any housing. And this was actually the selling point for me and what made me buy this GoPro. I left GoPro products for a little while and I stopped buying from the company because I had the GoPro Hero base model, and after a year of use, I was outside the 1-year warranty period, so there was nothing I could do about it. My housing actually sprung a leak and my GoPro went completely dead. And I had no cracks in the housing whatsoever. It was completely, I don't know, a manufacturing flaw or something. It sprung a leak. The supposedly waterproof housing sprung a leak about 5 feet underwater, so it wasn't high pressure. Left a bad taste in my mouth, and I didn't really want to buy anything from GoPro for a couple of years. But when I heard that they came out with this new camera that didn't even use the housing and the camera itself was waterproof, I decided to give it a shot. And I did also buy a warranty with this one. I got it at Walmart and I picked up a 3-year warranty for about $50. And this right here I like a lot too. I don't know if this is new to the GoPro Hero 5 or not, this little rubber stopper that stops the clips from opening and closing on their own. Kind of neat little feature, and I don't know if that's new to this year or not. Somebody let me know in the comments down below, but I like that a lot. And inside this little white box you're going to find all of the little accessories that are included with this GoPro. What you get, one thing to note is that you don't get a micro SD card with this. You will need to supply your own. What we have here is a bunch of paperwork. You're going to get some stuff about warranties and a user manual. And this one paper in here says get covered for 2 years. I don't think it comes with the 2-year warranty. I think it comes with a 1-year manufacturer warranty. There also is some stickers in here, and I like these stickers a lot. I usually use these on my laptop. And like I said, I did buy that 3-year warranty, and I would definitely suggest a warranty for anybody who plans on doing rigorous things like going underwater or action things where your GoPro could get thrown on the ground or fall from a high distance. Warranties are very helpful, and it's good to protect your device, especially since these are action cameras. And then included in this little white box, you're going to get the standard 2 mounts that you get every time you buy a new GoPro. You get one flat mount and one curved mount. And they have little like 3M sticky adhesive on the bottom. And in here you also get the little USB to micro USB charger for the GoPro. And you do get one battery included too. One thing to note is that there is no wall to USB adapter, so if you plan on charging this with a wall outlet in your home, you will need to supply your own adapter, but those go for super cheap nowadays and most people already have one anyway. And then those two mounts I mentioned, one curved and one flat with the little adhesive on the bottom, those are hard plastic material, and those will just snap right onto your little GoPro mount on the very bottom of your GoPro. And then there is like a little another section under here, but it is just kind of like padding to prop things up. There's nothing in it, and knowing how cheap I am, I might try to pry off the little display mount that the GoPro was sitting on inside the case too and see if I can mount that somewhere. Now, the GoPro camera itself, I like the idea of the rubberized housing to help protect it, and obviously it's not just to help protect it, it's also to hold the camera into the mount too, because there is no attachment for the mount anywhere on the camera, so you do need to put it in the housing if you want to be able to attach it to anything. And I'm just going to take the camera out of it right now to show you guys what the camera looks like when it's not inside that housing. And you guys might have seen there's like kind of like a little picture on the back. There is some little protective clear plastic on the back that has a little picture. It's kind of like a little display screen. You just peel that off once you want to start using the GoPro. The housing itself seems like good quality. It seems like it could withstand a fall and withstand a blow and not crack, and I'm sure you could probably get a replacement housing pretty cheap. I usually buy all my GoPro stuff aftermarket anyway. I don't buy it directly from GoPro because the prices for the accessories are insane. And I'm just going to peel back this little plastic here, and I do like the color of the GoPro, that grayish color. It's like a matte rubberized material and it feels nice, it feels like good quality, and I do kind of wish that it was black, just because, I don't know, I've seen them do the whole gray thing with these GoPros so many times, and because this is technically the black model of the GoPro Hero 5, I don't know, I thought it would be cool to see a fully blacked out Hero 5, but I do like the color, it is nice. And the screen on the back does have a little GoPro logo on it. The battery insert is on the bottom. There's one door that you open on the bottom and one door that you open on the side. The door that you open on the bottom, it takes the battery and it takes the micro SD card. And as I mentioned earlier, there is no micro SD card included with this. You do have to go out and get your own. The door is pretty simple to open. You just hold down that button and you slide it to the right. And with this, the doors are waterproofed, so as long as you have that door fully closed, no water should be able to get in. And then there's like a little sound thing on the bottom here too. The side of the GoPro, the side that has the lens, there is the second door, and on the top of the GoPro you have the button to record, and on the other side of the GoPro you have the button to switch modes and to turn the GoPro on and off. I'm just going to put the battery inside the GoPro now to see if it actually is charged or not, because sometimes they will charge these things before they ship them out, just to see if they work, and sometimes they want these things to be functional right out of the box for you too. And inserting the battery, I do see a little red light on the bottom. There are like 2 or 3 little red LED indicator lights on this that will blink when the device is recording. So to actually turn on the GoPro, you either press or hold down the button on the right hand side of the GoPro if you are looking at it from the back. And turning this on here, there is some juice in the battery, but it does say low battery, so I will need to charge this up. And to charge it, you just open that door on the left hand side of the GoPro, and that one has the little input port to plug in your micro USB charger that's included. And inside there's also a little micro HDMI port. So I'm going to leave you guys now, and I'm going to charge this up. I'm going to use it for a couple of weeks, get some good footage, and I'm going to come back to you guys and tell you guys what I do and don't like about this GoPro, and I'm going to give you guys my review of it. Now it will all be in one video. I'm just going to attach that later footage to this footage, and it won't be a separate video. It will play right after this, so I will be back. Alright guys, I'm back to give you guys my review on the GoPro Hero 5. I've been using it for about a month now, and I've put it through a whole bunch of real-world scenarios. And one thing you're going to notice right away is that I have a lens cover on there. And I put that lens cover on there because I found it a little foolish that they did not include a lens cover with this GoPro. That little plastic lens cover that you see on there only cost me about $2, $3. And if you buy one from China, you can get it even cheaper and just wait a little longer and it'll be like 99 cents. But with the new GoPro, the lens on it is removable, and that is if you get it scratched up, you could get a new lens, but GoPro will probably charge you like $20 for a new lens. I found it a whole lot cheaper to just keep a lens cover on there, so that's one little criticism of it. I really think that GoPro should include a little lens cover like this. It would probably cost them a nickel to make these things and include it. But moving back to those real world scenarios I said I put this through, I have dropped it both with and without the protective housing on it. I have used it underwater, in warm water, and in water that was ice cold and actually had ice on the surface. I've used it in fast motion scenarios, and I've used it for photos as well. I've used it in a whole lot of scenarios, and I've done a lot of recording with it. And what I'm playing for you guys on the screen right now is some footage that I've recorded with it. But this footage was originally recorded in 4K, and you guys are only seeing it in 1080 because the video editing software I'm putting it through right now can only export in 1080. So I will have two links down below, one with a 4K 30 FPS video test and one with a 1080p 60 FPS video test, and both of those links will be raw footage from the GoPro, no editing software involved, so you will see it at its highest quality. So if you really want to see the quality that this camera can record in, click those two links down below and you guys will see that. Now, for the GoPro itself, I'm going to start with my cons. The first con is that lens cover that I just mentioned. That is only 99 cents for me to buy, and it probably only costs like a nickel to make, so I really think that that should be included standard because they've made this GoPro with a detachable, replaceable glass lens, so it kind of seems like they almost want you to buy more of the lenses instead of just giving you an extremely cheap lens cover to protect your existing lens when your GoPro isn't in use. I think that's a major area for improvement right there. One big con for me was the touchscreen when wet. The touchscreen in general is less responsive than a normal phone touchscreen, and it does require a little bit more effort to navigate, and this is for obvious reasons. I'm guessing the glass is probably a lot thicker than your average phone touchscreen because this thing needs to withstand some pretty tough blows. But one thing to note and make you guys aware of, and I know it's not really GoPro's fault because they need to make these screens very durable, but when the screen is wet, when you're using it in underwater situations and then you pull it above water and the screen still has moisture on it, the screen is pretty much impossible to navigate and you will not be able to use the touchscreen when your GoPro is wet. I've tried this multiple times and I have not been able to navigate the touchscreen when it is wet. You have to completely dry it off in order for it to be responsive. So if you are planning an underwater session, just make sure that you have all the settings you want and all the different modes you want prior to entering the water, because it will be very difficult to change those once you're in the water. Second big con for me is the two little doors, the little buttons that you hold down to actually use the doors. These buttons I find to be very sticky, and a lot of times they will end up staying in they'll end up staying recessed and staying pressed down, and they're not springing back up. And it's actually happening right now as I'm saying it, and they will spring back up once you close the door again, but they almost seem like sometimes they will spring up and sometimes they won't. It's like 50-50, and that wasn't a huge con for me. It didn't really stop functionability, but it was a bit of an annoyance for me, and it does seem like something that could potentially break down the road. And my last con kind of goes to GoPro as a company and not just this one product. Their accessories are extremely overpriced. This bundle right here that I have, I bought this for about $30 to $40 on eBay, and I have everything I could ever need in here, every mount I could ever need, head mounts, chest mounts, floaties. I have the selfie stick, the octopus grabber piece, I have the suction cup mount, and all of this, if I bought this all from GoPro, the GoPro branded stuff, this would have cost me more than the price of the GoPro camera itself, probably well over $400. It's just insane how overpriced some of GoPro's accessories are, and I know in reality that this stuff is cheaper quality than the GoPro branded stuff, but I haven't had any of it break on me yet. All of it has withstood the test of time, and I've been using these accessories with my past GoPros, my past GoPro Hero, and none of it has broken on me yet. And the same thing goes with the GoPro batteries too. You used to be able to buy 4 GoPro batteries for the price of 1 GoPro branded battery, but I heard a recent software update to the Hero 5 software stops you from using aftermarket batteries. So you will be forced to buy the GoPro branded batteries for your Hero 5. Each one costs $20 and they are 1220 milliamps. So I only got about 2 to 3 hours of use out of each one when I was constantly filming, so I did have to buy 2 to 3 extras because I do sometimes film for longer than that. Moving on to the pros of this camera now, I thought the price was reasonable for all the different modes and functions that they packed into this camera. I thought the video quality was great at some of the higher quality settings like 1080 and 2.7 and 4K. I thought that the idea of making this waterproof without the housing was such a good idea because I always hated that housing, and it was the reason my last GoPro broke, and I love the fact that those lenses are removable. Even though they don't include that $1 lens cap, I still like the fact that if my lens gets scratched, I can replace it. I like the stabilization feature. It really helped me with some of my 1080p 60 FPS footage and making it a bit less shaky. And I like that it has the video playback function on there too, so you can watch the videos that you've already recorded and delete the ones you don't want. And I overall, I just like this GoPro a lot, and I'd give it like, the pros definitely outweigh the cons. I'd give it like an 8.5 out of 10. And if the price does come down $50 to $100 in the next couple of years, I would bump that up to a 9 out of 10. I haven't really had any major issues with this, and the biggest con for me was really a con with the company and the overpriced accessories, and not a con with this product in particular. Down below, I'll give you guys a link to buy the GoPro for yourself, and I'll give you guys 2 links to those quality tests, the raw footage of the 4K 30 FPS test and the 1080p 60 FPS test. And I will also try to give you guys links to that bundle I have in this video and that little lens cap I have in this video. If you guys have any questions at all, leave them in the comments down below. Hit that like button if you found this review helpful, and if you want to see a lot more great reviews just like this, hit that subscribe button. And as always guys, thank you for watching from XM360.